Hello everybody and welcome to Early Access Podcast episode 66. I am your host Angelo and thank you for stopping by and telling a friend, the usual blah blah blah, same shit. But yeah, thank you for listening and thank you for coming back and maybe watching if you watch it. So I actually played a couple games this week. Since the last episode anyway. So the first thing I'm going to point out is get through the Destiny Minute. I wish I had some cool music. Destiny Minute. I finally finished my exotic sword quest for the Void Sword, which is called the Dark Drinker. And it's a 310 sword, which is the highest level attack power you can get right now. For an item is 310. And it's a super badass sword. The quest line was long and grindy and complicated and totally worth it. I haven't even used the sword. I just finished it this afternoon. It's a really cool sword though. It looks awesome. Glows and shit. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Again, they're doing some really cool stuff with Destiny that, I know a lot of people were too keen on what they were doing with Destiny, but I personally am really enjoying it, so I would highly recommend checking that out. Alright, so the first game I played, though, is this game called Rebel Galaxy. Now, Rebel Galaxy is a game by this company called Double Damage. Boom! If you're watching the video, you'd see it right now. By Double Damage, and this is an indie space simulator game, so it's a 3D space sim. It's in a procedurally generated world. It does seem like you fly on a flat plane, though, however. So this game's not out yet. It comes out in about 2 weeks. It's going to be $20. And it looks like it's totally worth it. If you're into sim-type space games, this has everything you're looking for. Cool ships, lots of guns, and crazy enemies, tons of missions. You can trade if you want to, if you don't want to fight. I was reading some stuff from the game. I think the dev said there's like 20 plus different ships you can purchase. I played about an hour of it. It's really hard to get a good idea of this kind of game in an hour. However, after reading through some of the forums, trying to get a better idea just before the podcast, it seems like the main story and everything is going to take you somewhere between 30 and 40 hours. It seems to be that seems to be right, just based on the hour I played on it and how big the map looks and how fast you get from point A to point B. So that is the thing I want to point out, though. It is a space sim, so it's gonna feel slow sometimes. There is a warp drive that allows you to get from point A to point B a little bit faster, but if you're not used to this style of game, you may not enjoy it. I personally like these kinds of games. I love these sim games that are like space sims with the thrusters and everything. But it's pretty cool. It looks gorgeous. I did have some frame rate issues when recording the video, but I don't know if that was the game or a combination of settings, when trying to record the video. So I don't want to just say it was the game because I'm pretty sure it was just my settings. But if you are itching to play another one of these games, I would go watch my video. The link is in the show notes to that. It's on the YouTube channel, Early Access Podcast on YouTube. Go check it out, Rebel Galaxy. It looks great, like I said, and it seems super deep. So I'm really excited to check that out. Some more. I'm looking forward to playing some more of it. I'm going to try to actually do more videos of it, in the near future. I have another video, a first look to do, to put up for tomorrow, which, I'm trying to get back to getting more video reviews up, more written reviews. I haven't done a written review in a few weeks, just because I haven't had a chance to play anything that in-depth to get a good review. I'll get a good written review and get enough, a base to play a game. So this next game, though, I did play a little bit of it, but I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'm going to get the video out tomorrow. And this game is called Kaiju Panic, and you know, it's a really adorable art style. It's a cute little, your cute little creatures, and a meteor hits Earth, and kaiju, if you don't know what that are monsters, and they are attacking. Now, the interesting thing about the way this game is set up is that it's kind of like it's an open area tower defense game. So you are in a city or like a town in a mission, and you got to place your defenses. You can place them anywhere around you. So you're a little dude, you run around and you're saving people and you're collecting resources, but at the same time you're placing all your defenses and your your walls and your mines and whatnot, trying to stop all the different monsters from destroying the town. And you can place the turrets wherever you want, though. It's really neat. Like I said, it looks adorable. Go check out the trailer. If you're not watching this on YouTube, go check out the trailer. It looks really cool. I'm excited to play more of it and get a video out there so people can see it firsthand. I don't have the price off the top of my head. It doesn't seem to be listed on the Steam page yet, but it does come out on October 9th. So it'll be out tomorrow, but I'll have the video out later today. So keep an eye out for that. Kaiju Panic and Rebel Galaxy. And other than that, that's all I've really been I've played. It's going to be a relatively short episode, just because there hasn't been much news, and just the way it is. So this game is called Novus Inceptio. Let's jump into new releases here. And actually, I'm gonna box this in with this other game called. Let me pause this real quick. Called Vortex the Gateway. So one came out the 5th of October. One came out the 6th of October. Let's see. One Vortex the Gateway has 19 reviews, 89% positive. Novus Inceptio has 16 reviews, 87% positive. And the reason I'm going to group them together is because they're both action, adventure, survival, open world RPGs. So we'll start with Vortex the Gateway. It is $20, 25% off until October 13th for $15. It looks really nice, as most of these games do now that some of these engines are more accessible. It looks really cool. It looks like it's leaning more towards Arc with dinosaurs or prehistoric creatures. But it's the similar tropes. You're building your way up from the bottom, building houses and blah blah blah. The same shit that you're always doing. It looks nice. That's all I can really say. It's just another one of those kinds of games. So take that for what it is. And then Novus Inceptio. Now, this game is, again, it's another good-looking 3D open world survival sandbox game. This one, however, is a little bit more expensive, which is actually kind of way too expensive in my opinion. So it's $30, 20% off until October 12th for $24, and it's a third-person survival game. At least that's what it looks like from the trailer. And it's got seasons, and it's got I'm not sure if it has seasons. It's got different climates. There is, like any survival sandbox game, there is way too many things to click on and build. But like a lot of these games, you get into it and you just get lost, and you're playing for hundreds of hours. What interests me about Novus Inceptio a little bit more than other survival sandbox games is this one says it uses MMO elements. So if there's some kind of persistence in the game, in your character, that I'm kind of excited for. And actually, I didn't even check to see. So Novus is a single-player only game, and I closed that. What was the other one? Vortex the Gateway. Let me see that. Vortex the Gateway. So Novus is single player only, and so is Vortex. So, you might get a little different feel out of these games just because they're single player only and there's no multiplayer component. However, I still am waiting for somebody to figure out the format with these games and making, a single player, or an open world multiplayer survival sandbox game that has that works with the MMO elements and everything. I talked about it in an episode previously, but that's what I want out of it. That's just personal preference. So this next game is called Sky Arena. Let's see, came out the other day, 7 reviews, 100% positive, 10% off until October 12th, so $15, but it's $13.50, or you can get the excuse me, the Sky Arena and soundtrack bundle for $20, but that's also 10% off, so $18. Now, this is a 4-player, a 1 to 4 player, 2 to 4 player, local co-op, multiplayer, aerial space, not space shooter, dogfight, action game. It says that it's a reimagining of the Star Fox multiplayer. I personally don't remember Star Fox multiplayer unless it was something on Star Fox 64, which I didn't play much of when I was growing up, so I'm not 100% on exactly what that is. So, again, it's another local co-op game, and I put it out there again. Email it at earlyaccesspodcast.com. Let me know if you play local multiplayer games. I'm actually curious who plays local multiplayer games, because I don't quite understand it. This game looks good though. It's got a great cartoony look. It does remind me of Star Fox. And let me skip ahead a little bit in this video. It's got that polygonal look that the original Star Fox had. But the graphics look great. It looks like it's an interesting design choice and everything. Looks like a lot of fun, but again, it's a 4-player it's a 4-player co-op, local co-op game that I'm never gonna get 3 other people over here to hang out and play a PC game. I wish I could, but unfortunately I cannot. But go check that out, Sky Arena. Ugh, drinking this coffee and it's making me all like blah blah blah. But I need something to wake me up because I'm recording this a little bit later than usual. I'm busy. I'm trying to move apartments into a better unit, one where I am not facing a main street. Staying in the same place, but moving to a bigger apartment. So I've just been busy with that. So that'll be coming up at the end of this month. I'm going to have to start moving shit around. And I might go dark for a day. I might have to do like an iPod or an iPhone version of the podcast. Alright, so got a couple more games for you guys. The next game is called Divinia Chronicles Relics of Ganti. Or I'm assuming, I don't know. I don't speak whatever word that is. So it's got 1 review. It's positive. That's weird. It's $15. It's in early access. And it's a action-adventure indie RPG, and it says that it's a SNES, or SNES, as some people like to call it, classics-inspired action RPG. So it seems like a puzzle-solving, third-person RPG. I don't know what engine this is in, but some of it looks kind of familiar. At least the assets look kind of familiar. Yeah, it's a 3D adventure game, and at the price point of $15, if it's competent at all, it might be fun if they put any work into the story, even if it is regular assets, or whatever base assets from whatever program they're using to design this game from. But it reminds me of a Final Fantasy or something. One of the 3D ones. It's pretty neat, like a Zelda-y Final Fantasy game. But, those kind of games aren't really my thing anymore. Alright, next game is called Cryptark. Let's see, 17 reviews, 94% positive. It is, let's see, 15% off until October 14th at $11.04. Still got to pay them pennies. So this game actually kind of reminds me of not Metroid. Well, yeah, a little bit of Metroid. The character design reminds me of Metroid, but it reminds me of like Contra. So this is actually it's kind of like a Metroidvania kind of game. So it's a 2D sci-fi roguelike shooter. So you're a little space dude. Let's see. You are a heavily armed privateer seeking to earn government contracts. So you're killing aliens. It's a space shooter, so you're jumping around. You got a little jetpack, so it's a little bit more fluid than, say, Contra or something like that. So you're picking your loadout, working your way through the game. It looks pretty interesting, and at an $11 price point with the positive reviews, yeah, it might be worth checking it out. The art style looks unique. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of Metroid or Contra. The worlds look a little bigger than say Contra does, but it's an interesting looking game. And I hate using the word interesting. It's got a little bit of old world charm. It's got like an 8-bit feel, or like a Nintendo like a Super Nintendo feel to the pixel art. But it's also updated graphics, so you got a higher color resolution out of like the particle effects and everything. It looks really cool. I don't like everything's a roguelike anymore. I like permadeath, but some of the games are really like that's really what's gonna make or break a game like this is that difficulty. Like, what's that curve like? But yeah. Cheap roguelikes are a lot of fun to play, so go check that out. And this latest game I pulled, I don't know why it's in early access. I guess because it just came out on the PC. So it came out the other day, yesterday. It's Pool Nation FX. It's $13 for the game, or $17 for the game and all assets DLC bundle, which is like decals and stuff for your billiard balls and all that stuff, and different cue sticks. So it's a 3D pool sim. Now I find this interesting because this has already been out on the consoles, specifically on Xbox. I know it's been on Xbox for a while. It looks really great. It's a great rendered looking pool simulator. If you like that game, I'm sure you're going to like this one. It's got 8 reviews. All of them are positive. I'm assuming it's a good port. So if you've been looking for this game or a pool game on the PC, yeah, this is one that exists, and people tend to like it. So you can go check that out. Pool Nation FX. Don't forget, go check out the Armacrog first look video that's up, and go look up the Rebel Galaxy first look I just posted. They're both on the YouTube channel, Early Access Podcast on YouTube. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Sorry to keep it so short. Like I said, I'm running late, I'm packing, I have a lot of stuff that I'm trying to get done. But I will continue to try to get videos out for you guys so you can see the games that I've been playing and give you a good idea of different indie and early access games out there. As usual, Early Access PC on Twitter. I'm going to try to get some keys to give away soon. If you're interested in being part of the podcast, if you want to be interviewed, if you've got a game coming up, hit me up, email at earlyaccesspodcast.com. We'll try to work something out. I'd love to get some developers on, or publishers that want to talk about their games. I want to try to make this into more of a interview show. At least one of the episodes a week, I want to do an interview, or once every other week or something. And then I also want to do, these episodes are just the breakdown of what's been going on. I'm also going to start doing on Thursdays, I think, with the release of the midweek episode, I'm going to start doing a Throwback Thursday style video. So it's not going to be a first look, but it's going to be a relook. So I'm going to go back to games that I've already looked at, maybe games that I missed if I didn't get around to them, and I'm going to check, and the video is just going to be another hour, and I'm going to see what updates have been made to the game since I did the review. And this might be a weekly thing, or it might be a bi-monthly thing, but I'm going to take a look at what games have had any progression, if they're still in early access, if they've left early access. I want to get better at making sure that when games do leave early access, if I review them, I want to make sure that I at least give them a once-over to see if my opinion had changed on them, or if they added any content that I feel like is relevant for you guys. But other than that, patreon.com/early_access. I think it might just be early access. I always forget because I don't think anybody's actually using it. Yeah, it's just patreon.com/early access. If you want to support the show through Patreon and become a patron, we'll be doing special things to that if that ever takes off. Best way to support the show, though, is click through the Amazon banner at the bottom of earlyaccessmedia.com. Earlyaccessmedia.com is where all the reviews go up. At the bottom right-hand corner is a little Amazon banner. If you right-click it, bookmark it, click it, use it, whatever. If you're going to pre-order any games, do anything like that, if you're going to buy anything off of Amazon, click through that link. It does kick back to the show percentage. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it really does help me out as I accrue those nickels and dimes. It'll help with server costs and all that jazz. But other than that, guys, that is it. Go check out Rebel Galaxy. Go shoot some space pirates, because video games. See you guys next time.